some sort of Dejan Stribling highlight or something, because that's the talk of the town right now. It's Dejan Stribling's world, and we're all just living in it. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is the Morning Roast, and one more day with Spadoni and Lubman filling in for Shasky. It's been a hell of a week, Sam, and what a way to finish it off, reacting to last night's preseason game number 2, again, for the San Francisco 49ers, taking out the Los Angeles Chargers 41-17. We got one more preseason game to go next week in Vegas before finally turning the page to the regular season. And we know game 1 is going to be down in Melbourne, Australia, against the hated Los Angeles Rams, who also play at SoFi Stadium. But yeah, Stribling, man, just doing it again. So let me just do this real quick. I'm not the greatest mathematician, but I'm going to take the stats from preseason game 1, combine them with game 2. All right. So 8 targets in game 1 for Stribling. Yesterday, he had 5. So that's 13 targets. All right. 4 receptions yesterday. Game 1, 7. All right. That's 11 receptions, 13 targets for 109 yards combined from both games. 100 plus. That's all I need to see. No more. Don't need to see him next week. Put him in bubble wrap. Put him on ice. Put him in the freezer. We're good till Australia. What's not to love right now, Sam?
No, I mean, they've been doing a great job of featuring him here out of the gate in these first 2 preseason games. They clearly want to more or less force the ball into his hands and show off what they have there, Spadoni. And you know, we all panicked about this pick when it happened. It went against our consensus. And for the second preseason game in a row, Dejan Stribling is showing why he was at the top of the 49ers draft board as far as wide receivers go. He is justifying the pick so far, and that's why I like to call him the 33rd pick of the first round.
You do that, huh?
I do like to do that.
Did you coin that?
I don't know.
It's a Lubman original?
Really care.
Okay.
I don't really care about that. What I do care about is just how great Dejan Stribling looked. We want to see him connect with Brock Purdy, and not only did he connect with Brock Purdy, 2 separate third down plays, a 3rd and 4 and a 3rd and 5. Great little out route, I think, on that 3rd and 5 there that he was able to pull in. And yeah, the connection between Stribling and Brock looked fantastic. The connection between Stribling and Mac looked pretty good. I mean, he had that one ball that Mac threw to Stribling. It would have been a touchdown, bounced off his hands. I think you could probably go back and forth with what happened there. I think Mac maybe a little bit too early on the ball. Stribling also probably should have caught that as well. Him in, what line you like to say, Spadoni? Hit him in the worst spot?
The hands.
The hands.
That's a Bob Spadoni original whenever we watched him. Hey, son, hit him in the worst spot, the hands. Thanks, Dad.
So that happened there, but I'm excited to see what Stribling's going to look like in the regular season when he does line up with Mike Evans on the other side. Deebo Samuel was looking pretty good. Return punts for a minute, but we'll get to that in a second. I don't think he needs to return punts this year.
Did something happen in the game yesterday?
We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but the 49ers receiving core, Spadoni, is looking as good as you could expect it to. Maybe even better than you could expect it to. We might have to go back and redo our receiver ranking we did earlier in the week. We ranked the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers receiving cores. I think we put the 49ers 3rd behind those other 2. I don't know, but we might have been wrong. We might need to go revisit that.
They don't have a player on the 49ers, wide receiver-wise, as good as the best on those other 2 teams, but the depth is something that is going to be very interesting to take an eye on the rest of this season.
No, absolutely. I feel like if you're ranking, JSN, Puka Nacua, and Mike Evans.
Devontae as well, I'd toss in there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're like ranking your number 1 receivers, yeah, that's probably the ranking. That's not a knock on Mike Evans, more as it is acknowledging how great Jackson Smith and Jigma is and Puka the Biter is. But the rest of the core, though, if you take all 3 of those teams are lining up 5 guys out wide or 4 receivers and a tight end, even because apparently George Kittle is further along in his recovery than it was expected. He's ahead of schedule in his recovery after a good visit to the doctor yesterday. Like, in that situation, it's hard not to take the 49ers based on what we're seeing here in the preseason, which, again, all this gushing that we're doing about this team right now in a 41-17 win over the Los Angeles Chargers does need to come over under the banner of it is just the preseason. Right. But, like, I don't care. Like, I'd rather be happy about my team's preseason performance than pissed off.
Well, and it's a good point, and the phone lines are open to discuss it. 888-957-9570 is the number. Same number to call and text, by the way, 888-957-9570. I already, after 2 preseason games, feel infinitely better about this draft class than I did last year's. And I'm talking regular season games,
It's not even close.
It's not even close for me. This is as good as I've felt about a rookie individually. God bless you multiple times over there, Sam. Dejan Stribling. I haven't felt this good about a skilled position rookie since what?
Brandon Ayuk, maybe?
Seriously.
He had that leaping catch over the Eagles on Sunday Night Football as a rookie, and you're like, oh, this guy's going to be great for many years. He'll never destroy his career here. And here we are.
That was 6 years ago.
I know. God, wow.
I haven't felt this good about a skilled position rookie in a Kyle Shanahan offense in 6 years. And that does a lot for a fan base. It is. It's the sexy position, right? It's quarterback, it's wide receiver, it's running back.
Glamour positions, absolutely.
No, it is. But like for fans' sake, it's nice when you get an offensive lineman like Pooney, but like that's not really, the sexy position. We don't love saying, man, look at that. Look at that running block right there from him. Look at that hole that he opened up. Now we're sickos over here in Sports Talk Radio, so we care about that.
We look at Carver Willis, I'm just like, I don't know, man. He could have been a little bit better last night.
Yeah, but you know what? Even Carver Willis, though, he's showing me some flashes as a rookie.
Him and Connor Colby showed flashes. They also showed not great flashes at times.
Again, he's a rookie, so I'm willing to, roll with the licks there if the upside potential could be unlocked with Carver Willis.
But, Joe, again, we're talking about Dejan Stribling, the 49ers wide receiver core.
Yeah, we are.
And it wasn't just Stribling who I think really showed out last night. Got to give some flowers to Jacob Cowing. Like, he had a ball, it was in the second quarter. Mac Jones throws the ball. He kind of comes back, tries to jump up and catch it, bounces off his arms, falls to the ground. And in that moment, I'm like, Jacob Cowing, are we seeing the final moments of you on this team? Like, is the clock about to strike midnight on the Jacob Cowing story? And I'm thinking to myself in that moment, he's just not doing himself any favors to get on this roster right now. And then, so that was the 2nd and 8 on that 49ers first drive of the second quarter there.
Yeah.
Couple Chargers drives later, they do they punt after it was a 3 and out there. Cowing makes the house call.
Yeah, that was
and in that
cool.
moment, Jacob Cowing goes from, bro, I don't know if you're a 49er going forward, to you're a 49er this season. You're returning punts.
I don't want to poo-poo what he did. It was great. He showed some speed. He got the touchdown. I know Niner fans are desperate for anything when it comes to the return game. Sky Moore, I thought, was pretty solid at times and good at other times and poor with some of those catches inside the 5-yard line. I got to be honest, though. That was also some of the worst angles I have ever seen in my life from that Chargers special teams unit. That punter wanted no parts of touching Cowing at all.
He's a punter. Punters are afraid to hit.
No, I'm just saying, it is preseason for a reason. Now, I'm going to, be optimistic here because this is an optimistic morning for Niner fans. So great on Jacob Cowing. That probably saved him a spot on the regular season roster. Incredible stuff for him. Great story there. And we just need him to stay healthy, all right? Just need him to stay healthy.
We had 4 different hamstring tears last year. Is that what I saw?
Yikes. Yeah.
I thought it was just a one that lingered all year long. 4 times?
Yeah. Brutal.
Good Lord.
Right.
Thank God he's even able to run.
So I will give him credit there, but some of the worst tackling and angles I've ever seen in my life from that Charger special teams unit again. But also, it wasn't all perfect for Stribling. We're singing his praises, rightfully so. Got to catch that touchdown, man. You got to get it. I'm sorry. That was a perfectly thrown ball from Mac Jones. You got to come down with that. That being said, outside of that, there's nothing else I need to see from Dejan Stribling. He passed the test with Purdy. He passed the test with Mac Jones. And I'm not sleeping on the fact that Mac Jones, was throwing some darts to him as well, because we might see, like we saw last year, where if Purdy has to miss a game or two, hopefully he doesn't, Mac Jones is going to be there. That I could at least know that I've seen it as a fan, the connection with Jones and Stribling. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, again, there's optimism there. I'm going back. I'm looking at that punt that Callie did. You got a good point.
Dude, it's the worst angles I've ever seen.
Hey, man, what's up? You go that way. I'm going to stand right here and let you do you. He did a great job turning around the edge on that punt return, though. He did make one guy miss, and then it was off to the races there. But, again, to your point, Joe, yeah, not great coverage there by the Chargers. That's something for them to deal with. But, hey, at the same time, 49ers took advantage of a team not, performing up to standards on that play, I guess, if you really want to be optimistic about it. Well, I guess I'd say this. Who do you want returning punts, Jacob Cowing or Deebo Samuel?
I'd rather have it be Jacob Cowing so I can keep Deebo fresh on the offense. That is, I think, what most Niner fans would agree, especially this version of Deebo, who's a little older. And, depth is going to be important, like we talked about. I want to keep these guys as fresh as possible, Mike Evans, Deebo. And that's why the emergence of Dejon Stribling, the potential emergence, again, it's preseason, so I don't want to lose my mind right now, but because I think a lot of 49er fans are losing their minds. And I'm not going to be that wet blanket, on these radio waves and say, hey, it's just preseason. Let's see him do it in Australia. He's checked.
Fair request.
No, it is, but he's checked every box that you've needed him to check so far.
Yeah.
Training camp, check. Joint practices, check. Preseason games, 2 of them now, check. With Curtis Rourke, with Mac Jones, and with the starting quarterback, which is the most important, Brock Purdy. He's checked every single box thus far. Now it's just regular season. What can you do in the regular season against your division rival Los Angeles Rams in week 1?
I don't need to see Dejon Stribling play next week against the Raiders in a Legion. And sorry, Joe, I know you're going to be down there for that. And I know you were very, very excited to see
Fernando needs to play, I'll tell you that.
I know you're very excited to see Dejon Stribling play in person next week. But you're not going to see him. And another guy who I just don't want to see on the field next week at all is one Kalon Black. That dude, that's your RB2 right there. All concerns we might have had about him, that adductor strain, and whether or not that was going to limit him to start the season, poof, gone. We're good. I am so set with Kalon Black to be this number 2 running back. And, he just looks like he's ready to play. He just looks like he is ready to play at the NFL level. And I think Tim Ryan said on the broadcast for last night, he kind of gave a shout out to Kirk Cignetti's program over at Indiana.
Yeah.
49ers love their Indiana guys.
Yeah.
And, whether it's Curtis Rourke, whether it's Kalon Black, those are the first 2 Indiana guys to drop off the page there on this team.
Can you go anyone else?
I don't know if there's any others, to be honest, but you know what? I will give them credit at that program in Indiana.
You don't want to.
I begrudgingly, but no, in all seriousness, I grumble about, Fernando. Like, I got nothing but respect for what they're doing at Indiana. That's an incredible program. Frank Cignetti, an incredible coach, and also just a really, really cool fan base. I got nothing negative to say about the Indiana fan base there. But, yeah, they are cranking out NFL-ready talent out of Indiana right now. And, Fernando, again, he threw his first touchdown pass to the Texans last night, but he's going to probably have a good career, I would hope. It is the Raiders. You never know, unfortunately. But
not talking about them.
Let's focus on our own Indiana guy. And, yeah, Kalon Black, that looked like a guy who's going to be taking carries away from Christian McCaffrey in the good sense of the word. I'm
going to stick by. I said it yesterday. I'll continue to say it. I don't think Kalon Black is going to be the best rookie. I don't think on this team anyways, but he might end up being the most important one when it comes to depth at that position. Dejon Stribling, we talked about it yesterday, 4th best odds according to DraftKings heading into last night's game to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Be pretty freaking incredible. Now, it is a run-first offense, and what we know about, the passing game here is that it likes to get spread around sometimes. You might not be getting the sexy numbers compared to other guys that are getting force-fed around the NFL. And a lot of times when it comes to Rookie of the Year, it's just who plays the most. And by virtue of that, if you play the most, you're probably going to get the most stats and you're going to win, right? And it is a quarterback-driven league, and we like to skew that way as well. But listen, if I had some shekels to put down, odds right now for Stribling, not mad at them. If those of you listening right now, you got some cash, put it on Stribling to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Why not? Why not? He's going to get the opportunities. He's probably going to be starting week 1. The rapport he showed with me, with everyone, with all 3 quarterbacks, listen, that's not easy to do, man. It's not easy to do. And it shows me he's in the film room. He's working with these guys on the side. He has been all gas, all training camp. He has been locked in. And that is what we've needed to see from this rookie class from day one. And we talked about it all offseason, Sam. You, me, Shasky. It's an incredibly important draft class, I think, for John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. And just given how poor it feels last year's, was, and even prior to last year when you don't have Ricky Pearsall to start the season, your first-round pick in 2024. You don't have your first-round pick to start the season from last year in Micah Williams, torn ACL. They need guys to flash, and they need guys to pop badly because, as you said with Bonte earlier in the week, this is an aging core still. You can't rely on them as much. No,
and already, Joe, and we can definitely look into this more at some point later in the show. You're right. This draft class already looks better than last year's. It looks better than 2024's minus Dominic Pooney. Pooney, obviously, the start from that.
Absolutely.
And it's already leaps and bounds better than the 2023 draft class, which they just did a complete over on. The only productive player that has really come out of that 2023 draft was D. Winters, who they call him D because the D for Dallas now is where he's at.
Big D.
These days. So the rest of that 2023 draft, Darrell Luter's still around. I saw him playing in the third quarter. Braden Willis is still around. He had some solid plays last night, but no one's singing songs about their greatness right now. Well, we're seeing even Romello Height had some good moments last night.
That's a little run stuff last night.
Great run stuff on that stunt play he did there. They still got to figure out who that opposite edge rusher of Nick Bosa is.
I need someone to get to the quarterback, though.
I don't know who that Osa, man. He was wrecking shop inside last night, too. So he looked like a guy that I think he's going to be great on this defensive line. Alfred Collins, move aside. That's what he was doing a lot last night, just moving aside. But Osa Odighizuwa, he looks like a guy who's ready to anchor that interior of the defensive line.
Real quick on the Chargers front, that one series for Herbert, he's in 2 pass attempts. All right, we're good. Just get him out of there.
There you go.
What was the point of that? Legitimately, just to put him in pads so he can just show off in front of the...
Brock got 12 snaps in, threw the ball 6 times. Herbert, I think, only threw the ball twice and kind of overthrew Ladd McConkey a little bit. Didn't matter. Diamondor Lenore was
great coverage
on him like a blanket on that one there. So
they did come away with an injury, though. Renato Green had to leave the game yesterday. I believe a hamstring injury for Renato.
Austin Pleasance was down for a moment as well. And Austin Pleasance, he was basically the backup for Trent Williams last year. He's the guy who admirably filled in against the Bears.
The Bears after the first play, Yeah, he played the entire game.
And honestly, it took me until halfway to the second quarter to realize, oh wait, Trent's not in. That's how well Austin Pleasance was playing against the Bears. They were putting him at left guard last night, Joe, and he played a lot of snaps there. And then he, banged his knee at one point. Left guard, yikes! That is very much a position of concern right now.
Have these preseason performances from the San Francisco 49ers shifted your opinion at all about how this season could be positive for San Francisco? Or are you saying, hey, it's preseason, this is fine, but let's see week 1 against the LA Rams? It's okay if you're feeling a little bit better than you were 3 weeks ago. You were allowed to feel that way. You're also allowed to be skeptical. I'm allowing for all emotions this morning, but ultimately it's a Friday, guys. Thank God. So we're all feeling good. 888-957-9570 is the number. We're going to be talking to Vern Glenn again, who was on the sidelines.
Killing on the sideline last night.
He was talking to Mike Evans, by the way, this time around. So that was nice to see. So we'll talk to Vern, 820, KPIX sports director there, and obviously part of last night's coverage between the 49ers and the Chargers. Go Chargers, go. We are coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. Laughing Monk, righteously brewed in San Francisco. And it's all sponsored by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.